Yeah.
Okay, how's everyone else? How are people doing today? Does anyone have any aches or sorenesses that I should be aware of? All right, good. So, super smoky all over California today, and I'm assuming that everyone here is in California. If not, disregard what I'm saying, unless there's smoke around you too. So the smoke can definitely affect you negatively. So if you're noticing the smokiness, be kind to yourself. I wrote that on the bottom of the board today. So move at your pace. Don't feel like you need to set any personal records today. Today is just about getting some movement in and feeling good about just showing up. All right. So with that said, today is the last day of our deload week. So you get one more kind of our easier workout. Lots of stretching. Pavel's favorite, Shavasana, is going to be at the end of the stretch session. And then we're going to be getting ready for a more intensive strength regimen starting next week. All right. And just a little announcement, I will be teaching an online class on Sunday for BORP's Revolution Ride. It's their annual fundraiser. For those of you who are going to be attending that, thank you. For those of you who didn't know this was a thing, you can always check them out, BORP at borp.org, and check out their Revolution Ride fundraiser. They're a nonprofit organization here in the San Francisco Bay Area that supports people with disabilities. Great organization, and would love it if you guys could support them. All right, so let's get into the breakdown of our workout for today. So today's workout, standard format, we're gonna warm up, practice our circuit exercises. We got 5 of them on cue. Single arm overhead presses are up first, followed by offset rows. We're gonna add a little twist onto this as well. If twisting doesn't feel good to your body, just nix the twist and just do this offset row. We're gonna be doing a sumo squat. And then for our seated athletes, we'll substitute a wide push-up, and we'll go over the variations of that. We're gonna be doing some elbow ups and then burpees to finish. And we're gonna go through all the progressions and regressions of different variations of these exercises during the practice round. And then we're gonna finish up with a stretch. We're gonna be doing 2 rounds through our circuit, 1 minute at each exercise, resting for a minute. And then, yeah, we're gonna be taking it relatively easy today. All right, any questions as far as the flow of the workout? No? Okay, well, let's get to it. We're gonna warm up first. If you're gonna be doing this workout primarily in sitting, start in sitting. If you're gonna be working out primarily in standing, start in standing. All right, so I'm gonna mute you guys here. All right, and let's get to it. So we're gonna start by practicing some belly breathing. I want you to take one hand, put it on your belly, one hand, put it on your chest. And then when you inhale, your belly will rise before your chest. Inhale, exhale, they both fall. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And practice that belly breathing. Find your rhythm. Find what feels natural and smooth to you. Might be a little bit different for everyone. Some people will take longer breaths. Some people will take shorter breaths. Some people might take a little pause at the top of the inhale. Some people not. Find the rhythm that feels the most easeful to you. I want you to remember what this feels like. I want you to come back to this belly breathing every single time you notice that you stopped breathing, or when you get tired, or during our rest breaks. Take a couple more inhales and exhales. All right, next we're gonna start stretching out our necks a little bit. Gently tilt your head to the side, left and right. Trying to touch your ear to your shoulder. This should be an easeful stretch. You should feel a little bit of pull on the side of your neck. Still doing that belly breathing. And then we're going to start to turn these side bends into a neck roll. So you're going to roll your head around from one shoulder to the other and coming around the back. So you're rolling your head, looking down at the ground from one shoulder to the other. And then as you get to the other shoulder, start to look up at the ceiling and roll your head to the starting point. And then repeat this circular motion, stretching your head and neck in all the points of range of motion. So stretching the back of your neck, stretching the side of your neck, stretching the front of your neck, and then the other side of your neck. Still taking your belly breaths. And then reverse your neck roll, going the other way. So if you started going counterclockwise like I did, actually no, I started going clockwise. Then you go counterclockwise. And easeful stretching. Working your head around your shoulders. All right, and next we're going to start to add gentle twists. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings, don't knock anything over. You're going to gently twist side to side, bring your arms across your body. If you're standing, you're going to be shifting your weight from one foot to the other. If you're in sitting, you're going to be shifting your weight from one hip to the other. If twisting doesn't feel good to you, simply just move your arms side to side as far as you can. Think like you're reaching through your fingertips. There you go. Get as far reaching as you can, side to side. And then next we're going to reach our hands down towards the ground, hinge down or squat down like you're trying to touch the floor. And then take your hands up overhead to the front. Splay your fingers wide, reach as high as you can. And bring your hands down your side. And then hinge or squat back down as your hands come back to the ground. So for a seated athlete, you're going to be hinging forward as your hands are coming down, and hinging up as your hands come up, and then hinge back down as your arms come down the sides. Standing athletes, you're going to squat as your arms are at the bottom, stand up as your arms come up overhead, and then squat back down as your arms come down the side. Think about trying to take up as much space as you can. Big circular motions. And then we're going to reverse the arm circle. So now, starting from the bottom, your arms are going to come up the side of your body and then down the front. Arms come up the side of your body and down the front. So as you're at the bottom, you're still squatting or hinging forward. As your arms come up the side, you stand up or hinge up. And then squat down, hinge down as your arms come down the front. Take up as much space as you can. And then if you're limited in your range of motion, only use whatever range of motion you have. So if your arms only go up so far, or you're only supposed to raise them up so far, go to that limit and then go further. All right, take another few more repetitions here. And then next we're gonna go into our side reaches. So we're gonna go into a little squat or a hinge forward into a crouch, arms in front. And then you're gonna reach out to the side as far as you can, reach through your fingertips, squat or hinge back down to the crouch, and then reach out to the other side, going back and forth. Starting to move a little bit faster. All right, keep it going, keep reaching. Go as far as you can. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing athletes, we're gonna do some leg swings. If you need a little bit of balance support, hold on to something for balance and then swing your leg. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings, don't kick anything. Swinging your leg front and back. Standing or seated athletes, we're gonna be swinging our arms forward and back. And think about reaching as far as you can, front and back. So here I'm reaching my left hand as far forward as I can, simultaneously reaching my right hand as far behind me as I can. Splay my fingers and swing the arms in opposition, side to side. Good, standing athletes, switch your swing legs. So if you're swinging your right leg, swing your left leg. go. Continue with those swings. Good. A few more reps there. And then we're going to transition to a sideways swing. So standing athletes, you're swinging your legs side to side in the front. Arms go in the opposite direction. If you're using some of your hand support, never mind the arms, just swing your leg. Get that little stretch, work the balance. Seated athletes, we're going to be reaching out to the side and then back to the other side. Arms come over in a little bit of a pendulum. Long arms the entire time. One side to side. Good. Standing athletes, switch your swing leg. So if you're swinging your right leg, now you're swinging your left leg. All right. Get a few more swings in there. Swinging side to side. Good. Next, we're going to do some jumping jacks. Hopping in place. Arms come up over your head to the side, then quickly back down. Feet are hopping apart and then together. If the hopping doesn't work for you, you're simply bring your arms up overhead and then quickly back down. The same thing goes for our seated athletes. Arms come overhead, quickly back down. Good. Just doing this for a few more seconds here. Quick motion. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next, we're going to do our split jacks. Arms come across your body and then open up as wide as you can. Feet are hopping in place in a split stance, so alternating the front leg. If the hopping doesn't feel good, you're simply doing the back slappers. Come across your body and open up. Good. A few more reps here, a few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. How are we doing today? Feeling warmed up? Is your heart rate up? I assume that's a yes. Or you're dead.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll now go into our practice round. First up is that single arm overhead press. So for the single arm overhead press, you're gonna need a weight or a backpack. So here I got a backpack with some weights in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a front rack position. Whoops. Front rack position. I put too much weight in here. And then from here, you're going to press it over your head. This exercise is the same seated or standing. You're going to work one side at a time. Make sure you have all your zippers zipped up. And make sure that you have your straps all the way pulled tight. That's one key thing here that I forgot to do before class. Pull those straps tight, zip up all your zippers. Pull it in a front rack and then press overhead. Just like that. So practice both sides. Make sure you have a weight that's appropriate for you. I think I put a little bit too much weight in here, so I'm going to switch that out. All right. Any questions on the single arm overhead press? We good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep going. Next up is going to be the offset row plus the twist. So for our standing athletes, you're going to hinge down. You're going to grab the backpack or your weight. I like to grab the backpack by the shoulder straps. And then from here, we're going to pull the bag to one of your hips. So I'm pulling to my right hip. And then we're going to do a little twist like you're trying to point my right shoulder up at the sky and then back down. And then I'm going to alternate sides, and then I'm pulling to my left hip. It's up at my hip. And I'm going to rotate, pointing my left shoulder up at the ceiling, back down. So from a front view, it'll look like this. Pulling the backpack from the center up to my right hip, and then rotate up to the ceiling, back down, pull to my left hip, rotate up. Seated athletes, you're going to be sitting in your chair. Grab hold of your backpack, pull it to one hip, so pull to your right hip, then rotate up. Point your shoulder at the ceiling, then back down, pull to your left hip, rotate up, point your left shoulder at the ceiling, and then back down. All right? We'll be just going back and forth, alternating on that one. Any questions? We good? All right, so I assume that we're good if there's silence. All right. So next thing is going to be the sumo squat. For the sumo squat, our standing athletes, we're taking a wide stance here. It looks like a sumo wrestler. And from here, lower down, grab hold of the bag or the weight, and then pick it up. Squat down, and then pick it up, pushing your hips forward as you perform the sumo squat. For our seated athletes, you're going to do a wide push-up variation. So if you feel comfortable getting onto the ground, you can get onto the ground here. So if you transfer to the ground, get yourself into a push-up position. You're going to take a wide stance, so arms are past shoulder width apart. And then from here, lower yourself down, and then back up. Press lower down, press yourself back up. For repetitions, we'll go continuously for about a minute there. So there are various push-up forms. We can take a full push-up on hands and feet, going up and down. We can take a knee push-up, so on hands and knees. A little bit easier. We can do a hip push-up on hands and hips, a little further, a little bit easier. Or you put yourself on a bolster. Maybe put yourself on top of that backpack that you're using. And depending on where you place the backpack, it'll be harder or easier. The lower down it is, the harder. The higher up it is, close to your chest, the easier it'll be. For our seated athletes who are not going to be transferring down to the ground, you're going to roll up to an elevated surface, and then work your wide push-ups here. Take a wide stance, arms, your hands wide in the shoulder width, lower down, and then back up. All right, so that's the wide push-up and the sumo squat. Any questions on those? Are we good, you guys? All right, good. Let's continue. So next up is the elbow ups. So for those of us who are already on the ground, just stay there. And then for our standing athletes, who will then get down onto the ground. From the ground, what the elbow up looks like. Lying on your back. You can have your legs bent or straight, however is most convenient for you. You're going to take your elbows and you're going to push them down into the ground to lift your head and your chest off the floor. You're going to hold for a 2 count, 1, 2, and then lower back down. So you're going to be using both your abdominals and your upper back muscles to do this. Push into the ground, lift up, hold 1, 2, and back down. Key thing here is to avoid poking your head forward. You want to keep your head in this neutral alignment. So remember what it feels like when your head is on the ground. And from here, lift up, maintain that neutral position as best as you can, and breathe. That's important. And continue on. If you can handle something a little bit harder, we're going to add a single arm reach to this. So you elbow up on 2, reach up with 1 arm, come on back down, alternate the reaching arm. And if you're really badass, then you go up and down completely on 1 arm. Alternate the arm. And then for our seated athletes who are going to be staying in the chair today, the variation of the elbow up is going to be this. You're going to scoop forward in your chair. You're going to lean back into your backrest and then slouch as best you can. Put your hands right by your butt. And from here, your elbow should be pointing out. At this point now, we're going to push our elbows inwards. Like you're trying to touch your elbows together and push your chest forward. And then lower it down. So doing that again, elbows starting out to the side. And you squeeze them inwards like you're trying to touch them together. Puff your chest up forward. And you will have yourself lifted off of your backrest as you do that. And then lower back down. All right. Any questions on the elbow up? Good? All right. Silence, I hope, means that you're doing okay. Hopefully not dead. Burpees next. So for the burpees, standing athletes, we're basically going to be starting from a standing position, get onto the ground, and get back up. Classic burpee looks like this. I'm in a standing position. I'm going to quickly get onto hands and knees, lower myself to the ground, and then pop myself back up onto my feet as quickly and efficiently as I can. So if you can hop while doing the burpee, hop while you're doing the burpee. If you need to take steps, maybe slowly bring your hands down to the ground, come onto your knees, and then come onto your belly, and then slowly push yourself up onto a knee, and then stand up. That's totally fine. That's your burpee. For our seated athletes who are already on the ground, our burpee variation is going to look like this. You're going to start in a long sit position. So sitting with your legs out in front of you on the ground, and you're upright in your torso. And from here, what you're going to do is you're going to roll onto one belly. So I'm rolling to my right, coming onto my stomach. And then I'm going to roll back up to the long sit position. Put my hands over my head. And then I'm going to roll onto my belly, turning to my left. So alternating sides. So now I'm on my belly. I'm going to roll back. It's a long sit. Arms come up overhead. For our seated athletes who are staying in the chair, you're going to start with your hands over your head, touch your hands to your knees, touch your hands to your feet, touch your hands to your knees, touch your hands, or raise your hands overhead. So you go overhead, knees, toes, overhead, knees, toes, knees, overhead. All right, how are we doing with the burpees? Does anyone need any modifications? All right, well, let's go for it, you guys. Let's get started with the workout here. We're gonna start with those single arm overhead presses. Grab your backpack, grab your weights, and let's get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So you should be pressing that weight over your head. Keep your elbow pointed in front. Working smooth, controlled motion. We're balancing in our core, keeping yourself upright as best as possible. Avoid letting the weight turn you one way or the other. Keep yourself as vertical as possible. Keep pressing here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. All right. Seated or standing. We're kind of pushing that weight over your head. Keep your elbow forward as best you can. Good. Steady motion. Good. Keep it going. Just a few more reps here. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The opposite row. So, for the opposite row, you're hinging forward and you're pulling that weight to one hip, and then we're gonna add that twist. Up, back down, back to the other hip, rotate up, twist, and then back down. Keep working side to side. Good, and then work those repetitions. Seated athletes, you're doing the same thing here. You're just hinging forward in your chair, grab that weight, pull it to your hip, and then rotate up towards the ceiling, back down, pull that weight to your hip, rotate up, back down. Remember, if the twisting does not feel good in your spine, just nix the twisting and just do the opposite row, side to side. Good. Keep it going, keep breathing. Steady rhythm here. Get a few more reps in. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. We're doing sumo squats or wide push-ups next. So those of us doing a sumo squat, take a wide stance, grab your weight, stand up with it, put it down. Bend through your knees, keep your chest up as best as you can, wide chest for our wide push-ups. You're taking that wide stance, hands are past shoulder width, and whether you're leaning up against a table or if you're transferring onto the ground, and then work the wide push-up variation, whether you're in a full push-up variation on hands and feet, or if you're on your knees, or if you're on your hips, or if you're on a bolster. If you're in a chair, you can lean forward onto a table. You push up this way. If you're able to do these in standing, you can stand and lean up against the table. Do your push-ups this way. Wide stance. Work at that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbow ups next. Roll onto your back. Scoot forward into your chair. Then Push yourself up onto your elbows. If you're in the chair, you're scooting forward, leaning back into the backrest, hands by your butt, and then turn your elbows from the outside to the inside. Try to touch them together, put your chest up, and lower back down. Lift yourself off the backrest. If you're doing elbow ups on the floor, lying down on your back, and you press your head, lift your head and your shoulders off the floor using your elbows and your core. Hold 1, 2, and back down. Lift up, hold 1, 2, and back down. If you're feeling really strong, you can add alternating reaches to the elbow up. Keep going. Make sure you avoid popping your head forward. Keep your chin pulled back the entire time. Keep your spine in that neutral position. Keep breathing. And next up is the burpees. So if you're in standing, you're basically standing up and coming down to the floor and then standing back up. So if you're in long sit, you're going to roll onto your stomach, roll back up to long sit, arms come up overhead, and then roll to the other side onto your stomach, and then roll back up to long sit, arms come up overhead. Standing athletes, burpees. You're standing up, you're coming down into a push-up position, lower down, stand up, arms come up overhead. Work as quickly as you can, but also as safely as you can. Seated athletes in the chair. Arms overhead, touch your hands to your knees, touch your hands to your toes, touch your hands to your knees, reach your arms overhead. Going back and forth as quickly as you can. But safely, don't fall out of your chair. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Take a rest break. All right.
Hello, my fellow students.
Hey, Ian, you showed up, man.
Yeah, took a little bit longer than expected because my mom had me unbraid her hair.
Oh, that takes a long time, probably.
4 packages.
Oh, boy.
4 packages.
All right, you guys, during this rest break, make sure you're practicing that belly breathing that we covered at the very beginning. And then make sure that you get some water if you have it close by. Get your breath back. And take a scan of how you're feeling. If you're not feeling great, be gentle to yourself in this next round. All right? So collect yourself, and then we'll get ready for round 2. Woo.
Oh, yay. I made it for round 1. Sweet.
Yeah. So this will be, round 2 will be your warm-up set, and then you just get to stretch today, yeah? All right, we're going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's work those single arm overhead presses. All right. So you're going to take your backpack, take your weights. You're going to put it in a front rack position. You're going to push it over your head and lower back down. Keep your elbow pointed forward the entire time. All right. Seated or standing, same things here. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. And press overhead. Keep your elbow pointed forward. Keep your torso as neutral as possible. Don't let yourself bend to the side. There you go. Stay under control. Smooth, controlled motion. Steady breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next are going to be our offset rows with the twist. Hinge forward, pull the weight to one hip, and then rotate your shoulder up towards the ceiling. Back down, pull to your hip, rotate up, and then back down. Seated or standing. This is the movement. Pull to your hip, rotate up, back down, pull to the other hip, rotate up, and then back down. Keep going. There we go. Keep moving, working these oblique muscles, the muscles that rotate your torso. Get those stronger. Keep moving, keep breathing. Remember, if the twisting doesn't feel good, we're simply just doing the offset row, no twists. On side to side, working an anti-rotation in your spine. For those of us where twisting the spine doesn't feel good, training the anti-rotation usually is the solution here to get yourself stronger so that you can eventually twist again. Good. Keep it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next are the sumo squats or the wide push-ups. Again, for both, we're taking a wide stance. If you're squatting, you're taking a wide stance with your feet. You can push if you're taking a wide stance with your hands. Stand up and down. Coming up and down. Take whatever variation you need. Make sure for both that you keep your chest as wide as you can. Avoid letting your shoulders roll forward. That'll collapse your spine and make your movements for both the push-up and the squat less effective. Keep moving. Let's optimize the efficiency of your movement. Keep your chest wide. Whichever version you're doing. Keep going. Move well. Wide chest with those push-ups. Wide chest with those squats. Let's keep it moving, you guys. Good. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Next, we're going to do the elbows. Lying on your back. And then pushing yourself, your shoulders and your head off the floor by pushing through your elbows. Hold 1, 2 at the top. Back down. Hold at the top. 1, 2. And back down. Keep going for some reps here. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Remember that belly breathing I covered at the beginning. Maybe add in a reach at the top to make it a little bit harder. Good. For those of us in the chair, make sure that you scooted forward. Your hands are by your butt. Elbows out, and then elbows together. Pop your chest forward, and then back down. You're rolling your shoulders back together, and back down. Good. Get a few more reps in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Burpees. So if you're in the chair, arms overhead, hands on knees, hands on toes, hands on knees, hands overhead. Go for reps as pushing as efficiently as you can. There we go. For those of us in standing, we're going to start up overhead, hands overhead. Come down into push-up, lower down to the ground, chest on the floor. Hop yourself back up, hands overhead. Seated athletes doing this from long sit. Start in the long sit position. Arms overhead, roll onto one side so you're flat on your belly, and then roll on up, back to long sit, arms come up overhead, and then roll the other way onto your belly, and then roll back up to long sit, arms overhead. Keep it up, keep going, keep breathing. We've got a few more seconds left here, get some more reps in, keep moving. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right, take a rest break. All right, how are we doing, you guys? Ian, you feeling warmed up now?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I was warm before, but I'm even warmer now.
Yeah, well, it's hot outside, that's why, huh?
Yeah.
All right. How's everyone else doing? Is your heart rate's up? Feeling hot?
Very hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to get to the stretching in a little bit. We're still going to take a full minute for this rest break. You got about 20 seconds left here, so catch your breath, get some water, belly breathing. All right. So, get one more swig of water, take a few more deep breaths, and then we'll get started with the stretches. All right, let's change the view. We're gonna mute you guys here. All right, so first thing with these stretches, we're gonna go over a cat-cow. So for our standing athletes who are on the ground, or anyone who's on the ground able to get onto quadruped, so you're on hands and knees here, we're going to go from a cat position to a cow position. The cat position, you're arching your spine up towards the ceiling. You're looking down at your hips. You're curling your spine as far as you can. And then on the cow position, you're arching your belly towards the floor. You're looking up at the ceiling, rolling your shoulders back. Inhale on the cow. Exhale into the cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. All right. For our seated athletes who are on the ground or in a chair, you're going to start sitting upright, hands on your knees, and then for the cat, you're going to curl your spine towards your backrest, look down into your lap. And then for the cow, you're going to pop your chest and your belly forward as far as you can, roll your shoulders back, look up at the ceiling, inhale, and then exhale into the cat, inhale into the cow. And then flow between those two positions, working on wiggling out your spine. There you go. Keep going back and forth. Get those gentle wiggles. Make sure you're still breathing the entire time. Remember the belly breath. This is going to be a central theme here. All right. And then next is going to be what's called the Lord of the Fish pose. For those of us sitting on the ground, you're going to take one leg, you're going to cross it over the other. So I'm taking my right leg, crossing it over my left. So my right knee is bent. My right foot is on the outside of my left knee. And then from here, I'm going to reach behind me to my right. So my right hand goes behind me. And I'm taking my left elbow and hooking it onto my left knee to twist to my right. You should feel a stretch in your hip and to your spine. And then you breathe into that position. All right. And then for our seated athletes, if you're in the chair, you're going to take your right leg and cross it over your left. Get a position there. And you're going to take your left elbow, hook it onto your right knee, and then put your right hand by your hip and twist and breathe into that position. Try to look over your shoulder. Easy breaths. There we go. Crossing the legs, twisting. Take 2 more inhales and exhales. And then we'll switch sides. So, for those of us in the chair, you're going to bring your right foot down to the ground. You're going to take your left leg, cross it over your right leg. And then you're going to take your right hand, or your right elbow, hook it onto the outside of your left knee. Take your left hand, put it by your hip, and then twist over to your left, look over your shoulder as far as you can to that direction. All right. And then for those of us on the ground, you're going to take your left leg, cross it over your right, so your left foot is on the outside of your right leg. You're going to take your left hand, put it out behind you as a kickstand. Take your right hand, hook the outside of your left knee, and then twist into that position. Look over your shoulder. Easy breathing, nice gentle inhales and exhales. Good, one more inhale and exhale. All right, next we're gonna go into down dog, up dog flow. So for our standing athletes, we're going to start in a plank position. So you're on hands and knees, or hands and feet, or hands and knees. And then from here, if you're on hands and feet, you're going to push up into the classic down dog. So your butt comes up off the ground. You'll feel a stretch in your calves, in your hamstrings, pressure through your palms. For those of you on your knees, you're going to push down into a child's pose. Reach as far back as you can. And then for those of us in a chair, you're going to want to roll up to a stable surface. And then reach your hands as far forward as you can onto that surface. Stretch it out. Think about pushing your face and your chest towards the floor. All right. And then from here, we're going to transition to an up dog. So for those of us in the chair, you're going to walk your hands closer to you, and then you're going to arch yourself up towards the sky, look up at the ceiling, push your chest forward, and then you're going to flow between your child's pose and your up dog. Or those of us on the ground, if you're doing the child's pose variation, you're going to rock yourself forward onto your stomach and then press yourself up into the up dog, looking up at the ceiling, belly comes forward towards the ground, and then come down, then push back into the child's pose, and we flow between the two positions. Good. For those of us who are doing the classic down dog, you're going to go from your down dog position, lower down into your plank, and then down onto the ground with a push-up, and then curl yourself up off the ground, look up at the ceiling, chest comes forward, hips are down, and then back down, curl your toes under, push up and press up into the down dog, and then you flow between those two positions. Good. So everyone should be flowing right now, whether you're doing a down dog to up dog or a child's pose to up dog. Whichever variation works for you. Make sure that you're breathing calm and smoothly. Just take a couple more passes, flowing between the two positions. All right, how's everyone doing with this right now? Good, any issues?
I think I'm stuck.
Ian's stuck. All right, well, let's get you unstuck. We're gonna go to the triangle pose next. So for those of us in standing, come onto your feet. I'm going to go into a little bit of a lunge. So I'm lunging over to my left. So my left knee is bent, my right foot is flat on the ground. I'm taking my left hand, putting it on my knee, and then I'm reaching up towards the sky with my right hand, and now I'm reaching my left hand down towards my foot. This is a triangle pose. All right. So now I'm balancing in this position. For our seated athletes, what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand, reach it up to the ceiling, and then slide your left hand down the side of your chair. If you can touch the ground, great. If it's not quite there, maybe elevate the ground to you with a book or a block. And breathe in this position. If you can only go so low, maybe prop your elbow on your lap and then curl over this way. Breathe and hold. All right, and then we're going to switch sides. So come on up, switch your legs. You're going to lunge over to your right if you're in standing. Slide your right hand down your leg. Reach your left hand up towards the ceiling and root strong through your legs and breathe. For our seated athletes, you're going to take your left hand, reach it up to the ceiling, and then slide your right hand down the side of your chair. And then hold that position. If you need some more support, you can put your left hand in your lap or your left elbow in your lap, and then support yourself that way in this side bend. And then breathe into this position. All right, one more breath. All right. And then next we're going to go into our cactus pose. So reach your hands in front, touch your palms and elbows together. Your elbows will be bent at 90 degrees. Then you open up your arms into the cactus pose. Arms are bent at 90 degrees. You look like a cactus or a goalpost. Inhale in that cactus pose. Exhale as you reach your arms over your head, touch your thumbs together. Inhale back to the cactus pose. Exhale as you close it down to the front, touching your palms and elbows together. And then flow between all the positions here. So going to the cactus, going from the front, closed up, open up to cactus, inhale. Reach up overhead, exhale. Back to cactus, inhale. Close it down, exhale. One more. All right, complete that last cactus flow, and then we're gonna finish up with Shavasana. So transfer onto the ground, or set yourself up in your chair, scoot forward in your chair, and then lean back onto a backrest or a wall. Let your arms go down by your side. For those of us on the ground, you're gonna lie down flat on your back. Let your arms go by your side, legs should be apart or wherever is comfortable. And then come back to that belly breathing that we started with at the beginning of today's session. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Close your eyes. And allow your hands and your feet to sink into the floor. And then next to your elbows and your knees, let them go, let them sink, be heavy into the ground. And then allow your hips and shoulders to release. Let them be soft. And then allow the rest of your spine, your head, your neck, your upper back, your low back, and your sacrum, all just melt into the ground. Gently start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Start to bend in your elbows and your knees. Roll through your shoulders and your hips. And then wiggle and squirm through your head, neck, and spine. Whatever directions feel good. Rolling around. Open your eyes and sit on up. All right, are we with time? Perfect. All right. How are you guys feeling?
I do not know how you do it, but you get me so calm. That's crazy.
That's good. It's
You,
techniques.
huh?
It's relaxation techniques. You do this enough and you'll start to be able to do it on your own.
Yeah.
But until then, it's nice to have someone guide you through it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It helps.
Yeah, because that way you don't have to really think about anything. Just let yourself go. That's the idea. All right. So, does anyone have any questions on what we covered today? No? All right. So this was the last day of our deload week. Next week, we're going to be ramping up the intensity a bit more. We're going to be doing more rounds in our circuit. We're going to be trying some things to get you stronger. We will still be stretching though. That's something that's going to stick around with this program. All right.
Yes.
You guys have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe. Stay out of the smoke if you can. And I'll see you guys next week. See you guys.
Alrighty.
Right.
If you're going to the Rev Ride, I'll see you there too.
Yeah. If they canceled today's, so I don't know.
Oh, they won't be canceling the online stuff though.
Yeah, no, that's staying. So I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll see you guys Sunday. Take care.
Alrighty. See you Sunday.